These are the best restaurants to eat at in Austin, Texas. I've been in Austin for almost 13 years now, and I have done my homework. I love trying new food, I love going to the cool places, but I also love hole in the walls. So these are all the restaurants you need to try if you are living or visiting Austin, Texas. There's a lot of ground to cover, so I'm gonna break this video up into a few different sections, like Austin classics, the vibey, sceney places that have amazing food that are kind of popping up, barbecue, cafes, and at the end, I'm gonna share some really hidden secret spots that you will only know if you know. Let's start with the restaurants that have a really good vibe, really amazing food, and also are more new on the scene. My favorite restaurant right now is called Luti's. It is a little north of downtown on this estate called Commodore Perry's Estate. It is so beautiful, great Gatsby vibes to the max. There's a beautiful garden. I love going early and taking pictures, and they have a really beautiful farm-to-table menu. Actually, I think their chef is a Michelin star chef, or they have Michelin star chefs that come in and do custom menus occasionally. Food is incredible. I highly suggest you get the dessert, which is like a Kugan Aman ice cream. It is so good. The cocktails are amazing. Everything is seasonal. They change their menu often, but I could not recommend it enough. Definitely make a reservation, or you can try and walk in as soon as they open. The next restaurant is called Suerte. It is on the east side. I love this area. There's a lot of good restaurants over here. This restaurant has interior Mexican food. So good. The cocktails are amazing. If you go, get the Saldero tacos. Asing Den is also on the east side on the same street. It is such a vibe. Amazing Asian food. Great cocktails. On Thursdays, they usually have a DJ in the back, which is super fun. Ramen Tatsuya, also on the east side, but they do have multiple locations. Amazing ramen. This is a classic to Austin. They also have Kumuri Tatsuya, which is further into the east side, and that is kind of a hybrid fusion between ramen izakaya, and Texas barbecue. Sticking to the east side, there is Juniper, which is Italian food. It's amazing. They have a great tasting menu with a very heavy pour on their wine pairing. So watch out for that, but I do love Juniper for a drink and some good pasta. Also on the east side, there is Griselda's, which is really great for brunch and also dinner. There's a Korean restaurant called Oseo on the east side, which I have not tried, but I've heard amazing things as well. Next, we have Ki or Chi, Q-I, and it is a dim sum restaurant, higher end, really amazing food, really great ambiance, and that is on West 6th. Nearby to Chi, we have Lin Asian, which is another dim sum place, amazing, a little less fancy, so I would suggest going there for happy hour. In the same area, we have Sammy's Italian, which is a hot spot in Austin right now. It's a new Italian restaurant that opened up that kind of has that New York Italian vibe. It's kind of dimly lit, but it's really great for cocktails or dinner. In the same area, there's J. Carver, which is one of my favorite steakhouses right now. They have an amazing cold and hot seafood tower, which you have to try. J. Carver also owns Red Ash, which is probably the most difficult restaurant to get into in Austin, but they have the best Italian food. They use a wood fire oven, so all the food has a really distinct, beautiful flavor. All the pastas are homemade, the entrees are amazing, their cocktails are great, the ambiance is amazing, but it's very hard to get a reservation, so I suggest booking a month, 2, or even 3 months out. But I've had some luck walking in and putting my name down on the list, so you can also try that. A restaurant that is really classic to Austin and really emblematic of Texas is Lonesome Dove. They're a meat-heavy restaurant with a lot of gamey food. You can find rattlesnake, elk, bison, rabbit. I've gone there quite often with some friends. It's a different kind of steakhouse, I would say, but if you're visiting Austin and you're into that, definitely check it out. Another Austin classic is Emmer and Rye. They have an amazing menu, very new American, and they also have a restaurant called Hestia, which has an incredible menu as well, and there's a bar called Cali Mixto attached to it, which I highly recommend trying. Hestia has a really good tasting menu if you are into that, with a beautiful wine pairing. The next 2 restaurants are also similar new American food. On South Lamar, there's Eberly, which is a really beautiful restaurant. They have an amazing garden bar area, and then they also have a great menu. And Odd Duck, which is on the same street a few blocks down, has a really beautiful menu as well. ABBA is on South Congress. This is a really popular spot, so try and get a reservation or even put your name down early. They have a really nice outdoor seating area, and it's Mediterranean food, shared plates, really great. Get the whipped feta. You will not regret it. Nearby to ABBA, there's there's Two Hands. I talk about Two Hands all the time. I probably go there almost every other day. I get coffee from there on my walks. They have a little coffee window, which is so good. But Two Hands is kind of like an Australian style brunch restaurant. So they have the most amazing acai bowl in the world. It's my favorite acai. If I could eat it every single day, I would. They have like ribbon eggs. I don't know how they make them, but they are so good. Their whole menu is amazing. Definitely go get brunch there or even just a coffee. Two amazing restaurants that are actually in the same building because they're in the proper hotel are the Peacock and La Piscina. La Piscina is a Mexican restaurant. They have a lot of ceviche on their menu and interior Mexican food. It is so good. I had my birthday there this past year. The Peacock is Mediterranean food. It is one of my favorite restaurants in Austin. I go there all the time. I love the bar area. The restaurant is so beautiful. The interior design is... Get the Monty dumplings. They are crack. They are my favorite thing ever. It's basically a dumpling that's from, I think, Turkey or Kazakhstan or that whole region. They are so good. They have this yogurt sauce with a spicy chili oil. I can't stop talking about them. Also get the cheese saganaki. They light it on fire. It is kind of crazy. And then their sticky bread date pudding, I think it's called, for dessert. That's your perfect meal. That's all you need. Nearby to the proper is ATX Cocina. This is another one of my favorite restaurants. It's kind of Austin Mexican fusion and also is kind of that interior Mexican style, but with an Austin flair. I love the menu here. They have amazing queso fundido. Their margaritas are amazing. I usually get the Frida Kahlo. Definitely check it out if you're in town. On the same street is The Well. The Well is a really great, healthy, organic, farm-to-table brunch spot. I love their bone broth. I have yet to find bone broth as good as theirs. It's just so rich, but so nourishing and amazing. Their smoothies are amazing. They have great salads and other options. Definitely go there for a hangover brunch or if you're feeling like you need a little bit of reviving. On the healthy note, Vinaigrette is also a great restaurant for salads and healthier food, juices, etc. That is on South Congress and they have a really nice outdoor seating area. I do have an Austin hotspots guide along with all my other hotspots guides in the description below where you can find all these restaurants listed out, hyperlinked, along with activities to do in Austin and other things you should know before visiting the city or trying to plan your trip. Even if you're a local, it's filled with a lot of things that you might not even know about. Let's move into a few of the best sushi places. There is Uchi, which is a classic to Austin. Uchiko, also amazing, but I have to admit the last couple times I've gone to Uchi, quality wasn't as amazing as it usually is. Hopefully that changes, but they are expanding to other cities like Miami and whatnot, so I don't know if the quality has gone down because they are franchising. However, I hope it gets fixed because their sushi is usually so good. Soto is probably my favorite sushi place right now in Austin. I just had their tasting menu the other day. It was incredible, $175 for 18 courses and a lot of truffle, foie gras, the best cuts of fish. Oh, it was so good. So if you go, definitely try and get that. Another good one is Neighborhood Sushi, and at the end I'm going to be sharing some really secret hidden sushi spots in Austin. Stay tuned for that. 1010 is also a great sushi restaurant with a great ambiance, and that is on West 6th Street. Going into French food, I love French food and there's a couple places in Austin in particular that have very good French food. Pache is my favorite. They have an amazing menu and their bar is incredible. Everyone says their cocktails are the best. I used to go there quite often with my friend and we would get great cocktails. I love gin and they had this gin gimlet or something, which I really enjoyed. But get their duck mac and cheese and their roasted bone marrow. Those two dishes were some of my favorite. They also have absinthe. That is what they were known for, absinthe. Definitely check out Pache if you're craving French food. There is also Justine's Brasserie, which is further on the east side. That is a classic, really great, quaint restaurant in an old house. It's really cute, great food. Check it out. There's also a newer French restaurant that opened up in place of Sway, which was a Thai restaurant that moved to Westlake. I'll talk about that in a second, called 1417. It's more of like a farmhouse French vibe. I've eaten there. It was not amazing, but it was not bad as well. So you can also keep that in mind if you can't get into Pache or Justine's. Moving on to Sway, this is an incredible Austin classic, but I moved from South First Street to Westlake and now they have a new location over there. The menu is still amazing. I highly suggest you get this fish. I forgot the name of it, but it's so good, but their whole menu is amazing. Let's move into barbecue. I'm gonna give you a few of the best barbecue places in Austin. Of course, we're in Texas, we're known for barbecue. I don't eat barbecue that much anymore. However, I have tried a lot of them, and if you're in Austin visiting, or even if you live here, you have to eat barbecue. Probably the most famous is Franklin's. You're gonna have to stand in a line for a while, or you can go get someone to stand in line for you. I think you can do that now, or I think you can call ahead and make the order. I'm not sure, but Franklin's is a classic and a must try if you are in Austin. Lay Barbecue is also supposed to be incredible. I haven't tried it. I really need to, but all my friends say that they like Lay Barbecue as much, if not more, than Franklin's. Terry Black's Barbecue is on Barton Springs, I believe, and it is so good. It is always so busy, but it's easier to get in and it's more of a laid back vibe. Green Mesquite is also supposed to be really good, which is in the same area. And then of course there's Stubbs Barbecue, which is classic, and it's also a music venue. They have amazing concerts and a lot of artists go there. I've gone for the music more than I've gone for the barbecue, but you definitely should check both out. I will be creating another video with a guide on Austin's live music scene, so make sure you subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up while you're down there. And last but not least, my two favorites. Rudy's is an Austin classic and they are everywhere. You should go get brisket and the turkey brisket and everything, but it's kind of a nice little outing to go with family or friends. And then my favorite one, just because I would go there with my family a lot or friends that came to visit, it would be a whole day excursion down to Salt Lake, which is out in Driftwood, Texas. It's further south, but it's such a nice day trip to take out to Dripping Springs or Driftwood, maybe stop by Hamilton Pool, get barbecue, check out their little winery. It's so nice. I have a lot of vlogs actually from Salt Lake, but you can also check out my Austin playlist to see a lot of these restaurants in my vlog and other places that I might have skipped over. Let's get into the Austin classics. So these restaurants have been around forever, and when I was younger, I grew up in Australia, but I would come to Austin to visit, and I remember going to these restaurants as a child, and now they're just staples to the city, even though it's gone through so many changes. The first one, of course, is Chuy's. Chuy's is a Tex-Mex restaurant. You have to go there if you're in Austin. Actually, George Bush's daughters were arrested for underage drinking at this restaurant when they were living in Austin going to college. I get the chimichanga, and their tres leches cake is probably my favorite dessert in Austin. Güeros, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Güeros Tacos, which is on South Congress. A lot of the classics are on South Congress because that is kind of the heart of where Austin started, but they have amazing tacos and margaritas. And nearby is Hop Dottie's Burgers, amazing burgers. They have one with truffle, I think, which is my favorite, and their truffle fries are amazing. So are their milkshakes. Home Slice Pizza is across the street. Classic New York style pizza is a must try here. Not in Austin, but that pizza place is if you're looking for pizza. Another amazing pizza place that I haven't tried but everyone raves about is Via 313, so write that down too. Keeping with the Tex-Mex theme from before, Matt's El Rancho is a classic. Taco Deli, also El Tacorrido, started as this tiny little hole-in-the-wall food truck, and now they have multiple locations, which is amazing for them, and their tacos are incredible. Uchi and Uchiko that I mentioned earlier, also Austin classics. There's a restaurant called Jeffrey's, which is probably one of Austin's nicest restaurants. I put it up there with Ludi's on my list. The food is amazing. The best steaks in Austin, I'm pretty sure. Make your reservation far in advance if you're trying to go there. And of course, Clark's Oysters, June's All Day, and Perla's. All these restaurants are owned by the same restaurant group. I think it's called McGuire Group, so they have a similar vibe and feel. There's also Elizabeth Street Cafe, and I love all of these restaurants because the food is amazing, the ambiance is great, and they have something that is just the vibes. It's the vibes. As a digital nomad, I work remotely, and I spend a lot of times at cafes, and these are some of my favorite ones to either get coffee, get brunch, or just hang out at. Mañana on South Congress has amazing coffee. It's really cute. It's very aesthetic. Nearby is South Congress Hotel. They have a great cafe. And there's also Cafe No Sé, which is attached to South Congress Hotel. They're actually all attached to each other. So oddly enough, they're all in the same vicinity, but they're great areas to hang out, work at, or grab a coffee or brunch. I mentioned this before, but Two Hands, so good, and the best coffee, the best food, and it's just a good vibe. Cafes for coffee are Houndstooth. There are multiple locations. Also Merit Coffee has multiple locations. They have really good quality coffee, and usually they have space to work at. Sometimes they can get kind of busy, but also good choices. Swedish Hill has been one of my favorites recently. That's also owned by McGuire Group, the same restaurants as June's All Day, Elizabeth Street Cafe, Clark's, etc. But their pastries are amazing. Their coffee is so good. They have a good brunch menu, and it's also very aesthetic and fun to work at. Better Half is also a cute cafe. It's kind of retro vibe, but fun to work at and get brunch. Greater Goods is another good option, and Benu is also a good option. I think Benu has 2 locations, and it is 24 hours, so if you're trying to get a late night work session in, that is the place to go. And another place for brunch is Paperboy, which is on the east side. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna end with those if you know, you know spots and hidden gems. Lately in Austin, there's been this new thing arising where it's like a 6-seater omakase menu or a very private dining experience with a few people, a private chef. It's almost like a Michelin star experience. So there are 2 or 3 sushi places that I have off the top of my head. I actually just went to one last week, which was incredible. I went to Sushi Bar. I filmed the whole thing, but for TikTok, so I'll include some clips in here. But it was like an 8-seater experience, very private, piece by piece, incredible. So good. And I've had a lot of good sushi, but this was by far the best in Austin. Pare is also a very similar experience. That one was 4 seaters. It was also incredible, piece by piece. That one was even more intimate than Sushi Bar. There's also Pasta Bar, which I have not tried yet, but you have to make reservations for these months in advance. So I suggest you try making those now for when you want to go in a few months. And then there's also Otoko, which is a private 6-seater sushi dining experience. There are probably more that are popping up as I speak, but those are the ones that are off the top of my head. And you can find all of these restaurants in my Austin Hotspots guide, which is linked in the description, along with all the other things and accommodations and just things that you need to know. And if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. You can book a consultation with me and I can help you plan your trip. These are the best restaurants to try in Austin, Texas. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. There are so many restaurants in Austin. I keep wanting to try new ones as well, so I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, connect with me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm super active over there, and yeah, I'm gonna keep the Austin content coming, so let me know what you want to see from me and I will make it happen. See you guys in the next one. Bye.